seed against Los Barachos Softball Club, the 2 seed. So trying out some new technology, and hopefully it's gonna work out, and hopefully you're gonna enjoy the broadcast. So again, we are live, and the live stream is powered by Gold Rush Gaming. More on that. So leading off, it's going to be KC. It'll be followed by George and then Jesse. So giving you a little different view today, back over by first base. And there's a swing and a ground ball the other way. Shortstop from his knees, not in time. Leadoff man on. So KC slapped it the other way, hustling down the line. Beats out an infield hit. And it brings up George. Of course, the winner will play Bullies, the 4 seed. Pulled the upset last week when we were out here. And that ball's fouled down the line. So they got a lot of stuff going on. They're starting their second season of Mush Ball down there. They opened up the walls, so we'll see if there's any problems in terms of fielders getting in each other's way. So here's George, a little cut shot, and that's going to be foul. And unlike the Mush Ball, I believe they're playing 1-1 here. So it brings up Jesse. Of course, the La Honda team being managed tonight by Francisco Arenas. And many of you in the Latino community knows Coach, as he's called, as he's a legend in the Latino softball community. So home plate jumping around just a hair, and that pitch is inside. So leadoff hit, backed up by a walk, and all of a sudden La Honda got a little something going with Brendan coming up. And we'll get that scoreboard widget figured out. I know there's a way to make it bigger. And there's a swing, and he drives it over to the right fielder's head. That ball is going to roll into the Mush Ball game. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. They're going to send the big fella, and he's going to hustle home. 3-run homer. First 3 hitters reach. 3-0. So La Honda's come out of the gate fast, and it brings up Brandon. That's the thing, you know, as a manager, the walks just, you know they're going to kill you, and you just hate to see it. And there's a little flip the other way, hit the roof, caught by the shortstop for the first out of the inning, and it brings up Jonathan. So, well, they got it listed as 40 deuce, but I think they're in the league as La Honda. I think Francisco defaulted to the 40 deuce name, which is a team he ran last year. And there's a little ground ball. Shortstop picks it up. Long throw, not in time. Second infield hit of the inning. And La Honda keeps the pressure on. And here's Nava. So again, we saw in that co-ed game, Coco Tasso jumped up 3, but then Enemy responded with 6 in the first and never looked back. And that grazed the netting. That's going to drop. 1 run is in. So La Honda picks up their 4th run of the inning here. And getting a few breaks here as that hit that rolled up netting up by the ceiling and fell in. And there's a ground ball to first. He'll take that for the third out of the inning. So Josh grounds out, but 8 people swing that inning. They push 4 across. And as we head to the bottom of the first inning, 4-0 La Honda. Of course, the Bullies were a 4 seed. So that part of the bracket did not play to chalk, as they got the big upset win last Friday when we were out here, televised the one semifinal game. And they're sitting and waiting. I tell you, if they play like they did last week, Bullies are going to be tough to beat. Well, don't walk away with it. So coming up here, it's going to be Chu, Cotto, and Rollo. Good friend Anthony there, putting it on the lineup card as the teams are passing the score sheet back and forth. Tell you, I don't know if you have enough room here to even put a scorekeeper if you wanted to. So Chucato and Rollo coming up here. Again, this is a semifinal game. Winner plays Bullies. And there's a swing. Kind of jammed himself on the swing. Just kind of floated it out to center for out number 1. So that's going to bring up Cotto. See a lot of people taking pictures. This league is actually an SSA league run by it's actually Los Barachos, I should say. Steve Rodriguez, a little hard ground ball. Josh Cias, throw gets through the first baseman, but no advancement. So first base runner of the game here for Los Barachos. And it brings up Rollo. 1 on, 1 out here. And again, you don't got to get all 4 of them back, but you do want to put a little pressure on La Honda. You don't want them to just start free swinging on you. And that pitch is a little deep. Again, not a lot of foul territory here. And there's a ground ball up the middle. It sneaks through. He's going to get to third. Now the outfielder can't pick it up clean. Tried to slide into it. Ended up nudging it away. And a run scores. 4-1. So here comes Logan. 1 out, 1 on, 1 in. And he pounds it, but it hits the rafters, and they call it foul. Or not foul, that's a strike. So 2 strikes. It looked like it had the trajectory to hit that back wall, but it hit the ceiling. Again, I think sometimes when guys go into their drive swing, and there's a hard ground ball picked up by Josh Cias, and that'll be out number 2. Brings up Tommy, the pitcher. Takes that pitch a little deep. And there's a swing and a long fly ball. That's in the gap by Tommy. 1 run scores. This is going to be a 2-run homer, folks. Tommy scoots around, and Los Barachos right back into the game here at 4-3. So 2 out, 2-run opposite field home run, and we got a 4-3 ball game. So both teams wanting to get into that championship game brings up Luke. And they've come out swinging, and that's a little soft fly ball. Does hit the roof, and they'll call that a strike. That was well in front of that black netting. Amalia, were you talking about the ones right there that are like a quarter of the way up the wall? I thought you were talking about those long pipes. But yeah, that's what those shorter poles are for netting. I didn't understand what you were asking me earlier. So Luke now with 2 outs, trying to extend the inning here. We're in the bottom of the first, 4-3. LaHonda, and he does extend the inning with a crisp line drive into left. And they got the photographer here, and you could see the base runner. Luke was not too happy because he almost ran him over. And here's J-Rod. And J-Rod's certainly a big enough kid to reach the back wall. Again, we're not going to see anybody reach that right field wall. But if you do, again, we're all turf here. So if you plug a gap like that, you got a chance. We're all tied at 4. J-Rod's going to hustle into third, and they'll hold him there. Wild throw, but he'll stay at third anyway. We're all tied at 4 on the 2-out triple. So Los Barazos answers the bell. After falling behind 4-0, they've tied the ball game up. Brings up Chops. And there's a little flare. I want to get it. So Chops will reset. I'm jockeying a little bit with the photographer behind me. They got double barrel action. George, that hit him in a beefy spot. The ball stayed right there for him. And they get out of the inning. But both teams score 4 in the first inning as we're going to head now to the top of the second, all knotted at 4. Again, we are live at Intentional Sports, a live stream powered by Gold Rush Gaming. Great people to do business with. If you're going to put video gaming in your establishment, go with the gold standard. Go with Gold Rush Gaming. If you're in Chicago, they're going to be going live, the rumor is, in 2025. So get a jump on it. You can sign contracts in advance. You can be ready to go if you get the nod from the city. So with that being said, you can call them at 630-307-0500, or you can email them at goldrushgaming.com. Tell them you heard about it on the live stream. Slow Pitch Softball Association. So it's going to be Lou, Hector, and Thor. And Lou bangs it around the rafters. That's a fair ball. So Lou gets himself on base. Now they're calling it a foul ball. Home plate umpire Manny Sanchez a tad slow in letting the teams know there. I know he's going to watch the game later, and that's why I'm pulling the chain a little bit. So Lou Rossi back in the box here. And Lou swings and he flares it to right. And the right fielder froze for just a split second. Then he recovered and made the play. And that's going to bring up Hector. Yeah, softball season right around the corner. Mother Nature threw us a curveball today. We were getting comfortable with those 50s touching 60. Tonight we got a little snow out here, and the temperature and wind chill is going to be in the teens. And there's a swing and a high fly ball, and that's going to rattle around, and Chu makes the catch, and that'll be an out. And again, we talk all the time. When you're in a dome and you got to contend with the roof, that's what you're supposed to do if you're an infielder. You got to follow that ball and be ready to react. So here comes Thor. And again, well, Dan, I'm going to tell you what I always tell you. The key is catch the ball. That's always first and foremost in any ball game tonight. And there's a swing and a miss, and that'll be a strikeout. So we head to the bottom of the second, still knotted at 4. And of course, anytime you're the lower seed, in this case a 3 chasing a 2, that's real important. And these are 2 pretty evenly matched teams. I don't think either one of them really has an advantage over the other. And you know, hey Russ, and you know, Dan, when you play indoors, there are so many unknown factors. So it's going to be BB, and that ball hit the roof. It's foul. BB, that's what it looks like. Well, there are so many wild card factors because you don't know where the ball is going to hit the roof, whether it's just going to be a strike or if it's going to be in play. And the rafter here is not like a smooth roof, and that's going to be strike 3. Because you see, they got the way the beams are. It's not like being in a dome where it's just a smooth roof that circles around the top of the building. So the ball can really end up anywhere. Well, some people not in law enforcement won't know what you're talking about, Russ, but I do. And there's a swing and a line drive bobbled by Lou Rossi, but he makes the catch, and Stan is out for out number 2. And it brings up Cesar. So we're getting all kinds of coaching pearls of wisdom in the comments. So after this, they'll be back to their top, and there's a line drive humpback single by Cesar, and it brings up Chu, the leadoff man. So 2 outs and a base runner here. So Chu Cardenas going to try to extend the inning with Cotto on deck. So after a fast and furious first inning, the second inning is taking on a much slower tenor. And that pitch is a little deep. Anthony's got his back turned to the catcher. He wound up. Jesse wound up like he was going to throw it down here. He might have taken it in the back of the head. There's a little flare, and the second baseman bobbled it but made the catch. So 2 juggling catches this inning by Laanda. And they give up a single, but they get out of it with no damage. So we head to the bottom of the third, still 4-4. Well, excuse me, I got a little tied up there. We're going to head to the top of the third. Still tied. No, that's not right. So top of the lineup here for 40 deuce in the top of the third, KC, George, and Jesse. Last time up, just rolled one over to the left side and beat it out for a base hit. And he goes the opposite way, and the shortstop who was playing in, hard line drive, he mishandled it, and the ball pops into center field. Leadoff man on for Laanda. So KC gets on. Here comes George. And George swings, and he drives it off the short center. First 2 hitters on here. As Laanda's top that did a lot of damage in the first, picking up where they left off. And brings up Jesse now, first and second. Tie game here, top of the third. And Jesse, little ground ball. He steps on it to throw in time. They twist the double play. Little confusion there. The short center was going to take it. Shortstop was coming. Fortunately, the shortstop slammed the brakes on in time. Runner at second didn't advance. Lead run 60 feet away. For Brendan. Takes that pitch a little deep. Jonathan on deck. And there's a rocket, and it gets over to left fielder. 1 run is in. And Brandon's gonna end up at second. So it's gonna bring up Jonathan now. 2 outs. They do pick up that run. So Laanda, they're being up 4-0. And having Los Barachos catch him has come back here in the third to reclaim the lead. So here's Jonathan. And Jonathan goes opposite field. Left fielder makes a running catch. And that's going to be out number 3. But they do score a run. Heading into the bottom of the third, 5-4 LaHonda. So the game has certainly slowed down a little bit since the first. We'll be outside soon, folks. Well, generally, they did a study, a University of Chicago professor did a study on that. And there's a swing and a base hit there by Cotto as he drills it into left field, leading off. And we tend to put it up on our tournament pages all the time. If you Google how to crush a clincher, the article comes up. But it's a fascinating article. It talks about the differences between hitting a 16-inch and a 12-inch, the conclusion they came to. And there's a swing, and that's up in the rafters. Foul ball. Foul ball. So new life here for Rollo. Cotto diving back in. So what they concluded was you want to swing the heaviest bat you can as fast as you can if you want to generate max distance. I've seen small guys use 38-ounce bats and they smoke the ball, but body mass is going to come into play because whether you want to believe it or not, on contact, the barrel of the bat does always come back just a little bit. That's where bat speed comes in. Because unlike a 12-inch, where those bats are designed to be trampolines, where the barrel of the bat gives and then the ball springs off, you can't do that in 16-inch because the ball will wrap around the barrel a little bit on contact. So there's a new life, and that hit the roof, and that's going to be called a strike as it hit the infield part of the roof. Strike 3 brings up Logan. But body mass is probably going to play a role in that, in the sense that if you're a bigger, stronger guy, that barrel of the bat isn't going to end up moving backwards at all on contact, so that's an advantage. But the key thing is you need a solid one-wall bat. In other words, no double-wall bats and none of that thin aluminum. And he swings, and that's going to be a base hit into center. So Logan gets a hit. A little hesitation by Cotto, but he gets the third, second and third here. 1 out. Brings up the pitcher, Tommy. Last time up, hit a big home run into the right center field gap. Just a little line drive that nobody could get to. So now the courtesy run. Chu Cardenas comes out. I think the thing here is Rollo was actually the last batted out. But he's hobbling around, and they're telling him, well, he's going to get a courtesy as well. So they went to the next out, which was Chu. So here's Tommy. And there's a little ground ball, throw to first, and we're all tied up. So he gets one in and gets one over, but there are now 2 outs in the inning. So that's going to bring up Luke now. And he swings. What a play by Cias as he reaches up and snags it for the third out of the inning. So Luke hit it hard, but doesn't get any love, as they say. So we're going to head to the bottom of the third, all knotted up at 5. Coach. Excuse me, we're going to head to the 4th. So pretty interesting. Hey, can you grab a lineup card off the bench, okay? It should be right here where these guys are sitting by my bag there, unless they're smushing them. Just trying to get the bullies organized for the championship. Little ground ball, leadoff man is on. So Nava leads off with a hit. And it's going to bring up Jose. 5-5 game here, top of the 4th. Winner plays bullies for all the marble. And there's a high throw. Now the runner's going to get up. He'll scoot into third. Well, at the end of the day, the object of the exercise is to score runs. And from my past experience, back when I had my better Mudville teams, and he walks the dog down the right field line. 1 run is in. Now they're going to send the second runner. Throw to third, safe. 2-run triple. And now there's a swing and a base hit by Lou. 3rd run scores. So Laanda come out here in the 4th inning swinging the bats. They've pushed 3 across. Lou Rossi going the other way for a base hit. And it's going to bring up Hector. And he swings and that hits the roof. And that is a foul ball.
Let's go, Hector, let's go.
About 7 and out. Let's take it. 7 and
So new life here for Hector. Takes that pitch just a hair high. Showing a good command there, trusting the umpire. And there's a little ground ball to Chu, and calls him safe. Umpire thought the throw pulled the short center off of the bag. It looked like it from here, like he might not have been on the bag. He made a great effort to catch the ball, but could not stretch enough to stay on the bag. So the inning continues here. There's a little ground ball up the middle. He steps on it for 1, and that's all he'll get. They throw behind on Lou Rossi, but he manages to get back. So 4 grounds into the fielder's choice. And there you go, Dan. We're seeing it this inning. Here's KC. We're seeing a little sloppy defense, and it's cost them a little bit in this inning. And KC, now they're going to try to spin another double play. They don't get it. Another run does score. Is
My bad, y'all.
good hustle by KC to beat the double play. But it's the fourth run of the inning, and we got a 9-5 game. La Honda back to their original 4-run lead. And it brings up George. So getting back to your question, the object of the exercise is to score one more. When I had my really good teams, at that time, Mudville and Windy City were hands down, and that ball gets over the top of the left fielder. Another run scores. George will get a double, and we got a 10-5 ball game. So we were both hands down the best defensive teams in the game. And pretty much for a 3-4 year span, the two of us were in the Final Four of everything. But ultimately, us or Windy City would finish fourth or third, and the flashbacks and 45s of the world would end up playing in the championship. And the reason being, when you got to that level, everybody's defense is pretty good. And no matter how good defense you play, and here's Jesse, Chu stays down, and that'll end the inning. So we're going to head to the bottom of the fourth in a 5-and-dime game, 10-5, La Honda leading Los Borrachos. So Jesse grounds out to end that inning. So when you get into those kind of matchups where the other guy is playing, maybe they're not quite as good as your team, but they're making all the plays they need to make, it comes down to who can cycle and get to their top. And when the other team's got 8 great hitters and you got 4, you're at a disadvantage. So it plays hand in glove. We won a lot of games. We just couldn't get over the hump. Windy City, who's now Signature, they abandoned their initial philosophy of defense first and just lined up a ton of sluggers, and they started winning national championships. Because after all, it is underhand. So I think the offense is critical, but the one thing I do know is if you can't catch the ball, you can't win. So here's J-Rod leading off, followed by Chops and BB. So pretty good ball game here. Even though it's 10-5, we got a long way to go here. We're only in the bottom of the fourth inning. And there's a long one, but right at the left fielder. That'll be out number 1. And that is a tendency. Sometimes you want to get up there. You just want to hammer something. But when you're down by 5, you need base runners. So Chops is going to try to get Los Borrachos rolling here. And we've done a couple of La Honda games, and they're deceptive. They got some guys that can swing the bats. So there's the dreaded walk. They do get a base runner, and here's BB. We are in the bottom portion of the lineup here for Los Borrachos, so they need a couple of guys here to get on for that top. And there's a base hit. And scooting into third, no problem there, was Chops. So that's going to bring up Stan. So Caesar on deck and then the top. And you know that's what Los Borrachos is hoping for, a couple of more hits. And he's going to just miss. Pretty easy call for the umpire. When that ball hit, a lot of those rubber pellets popped up. So he could see where the ball landed pretty clearly. Man, he did exactly what he's supposed to do. He moved up and looked right down the foul line. So 2 strikes now on Stan. And he hits a ground ball off the pitcher. Everybody's safe. A run scores. That's a good example there. Lou Rossi playing center field was standing right behind him. Might have been an easy turn for him, but the ball ended up hitting George on the mound and bounced into no man's land. Run scores 10-6. And here come Los Barachos. So now if you're Caesar, big spot in the ball game, you'd like to get your top up there, and he comes through with a base hit. Play at the plate, no, they were going to throw it to second. Another run scores 10-7. So Los Barachos not backing down. It brings up Chu Cardenas, and there's the man, the guy that set all of this up. My good friend, Steve. I've got to catch you between games. We'll do something. Steve, just a delightful human being. But when I was in my 40s, I had that kind of energy and good looks too. So Barachos here set up. They've already pushed a couple across. They got first and third with 1 out and the top of the lineup up. So as far as the Barachos goes, this could be the ball game for them. And that's why you put these guys at the top of your lineup. And Chu sweeps the ball into right center. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Now the ball scoots away. He's going to score on that as he hit it up the gap and it slithered through. 3-run homer. And Los Barachos has come storming back into this ball game. They tie it at 10. So apparently the key for Los Barachos is they got to fall behind before they start hitting. So top of the first, Lawanda scores 4. And Barachos answer with 4. At the top of this inning, they put up a fin. And Barachos answered. So little change of pitcher here. Jesse's going to move from the plate to the mound. And George is going to go and catch. Go ahead run now, 60 feet away with 1 out. As this has turned into a back and forth seesaw affair. As we've had 3 lead changes and 3 ties. Now that's symmetry. Tied at 4, tied at 5, tied at 10. So it brings up Cotto. Takes a pitch there. It was a weird setup. I thought maybe he was going to try to flip that into right, but now he pulls it. Josh Cias gets a hand on it. Oh, I'm sorry. Chu scored on that, so nobody was on third. My bad. Still only 1 out. And it brings up Rolo. Struck out the last time when he hit a foul ball off the ceiling with 2 strikes. Still only 1 out here. Both teams have had long 4th inning, and there's a little spinner. Both teams have had a long 4th inning at bat. And there's a little pop up to third. Third baseman makes the play easily. So good job there by the third baseman. Tracked it all the way. Made a little belly catch. And that's going to bring up Logan.
Oh, yeah, for sure, bro.
And there's a mush ball a long way from home plate. That cleared the right fielder of our game and almost got into the infield. So Logan here, Mikado can fly. Anything hitting the gap, that's long stretch single, he's got a chance to score. And that's my pet peeve there, where a hitter doesn't tell the base runner what he's doing. And there's a hard ground ball. Little bobble by Josh. He recovers, though, and the inning finally comes to an end. But in the inning, Barachos push a fin across, and they tie the game at 10. So we head to the top of the fifth, new ball game, 10-10. Pretty good little semifinal. We're going to click off, start a new stream for the championship. Bullies will be playing the winner here. Oh, good feet there by J-Rod. That ball, I think, was coming into my living room. So now Laanda, every time they think they got a handle on the game, Los Barachos jumps up. And it's going to be Brandon, Jonathan, and Nava. 4, 5, 6, teeth of the order. We have not seen Laanda have to come back from a deficit today. They've been playing with the lead or tied the entire ball game. And there's a swing and a hard ball, but right at the left fielder. Backed up a couple of steps and made the play. And here comes Jonathan. And there's a little ground ball up the middle. Chew, a little bobble. He's got no play. And the way these teams have been taking advantage of the few mistakes that have been made. So that's going to bring up Nava now. The runner on and one out. And there's a hard ground ball snagged by the pitcher. He'll get the fielder's choice. You can see Tommy knew that Nava runs pretty good. So he just took his time and made sure he got the fielder's choice. 2 outs. It brings up Jose with Josh Cias on deck. Again, Nava's another kid. Laanda and both Los Barachos, they do have some quicker players. And with 2 outs, he's going to score on a hit. Second baseman called it all the way for out number 3. So Laanda goes dry here in the top of the 5th. And we head to the bottom of the 5th, all tied at 10. It's going to be Tommy, Luke, and J-Rod for Barachos. If I'm not mistaken, I think Tommy, he may be the head softball coach at Taft. I'm not sure about that. He sure looks like him. Anthony. Does Tommy coach Taft? I thought so. And he leads off with a hit. He's been on fire. Of course, Taft, a perennial powerhouse in the Chicago Public Schools 16-inch softball. I thought he coached the 16-inch. Yeah. Well, that's where I know him from. He's telling me about some girls' programs, which I'm all for 100%, ladies, so don't start messaging me. So Tommy gets himself on base, brings up Luke here. Baracho's trying to scratch out their first lead of the ball game. Well, Taft is a funny school. I think they've made it to the Public League Championship 2 or 3 years in a row, and they just can't get over the hump yet. But he runs a good program over there. And Taft, amazingly, they travel very well when they have the city playoffs. A lot of parents and friends showing up. So here's J-Rod, 2 on, nobody out. We are in the bottom of the 5th, all tied at 10. I keep giving you guys the score, even though we got the little widget up there, but I know it's a little on the small side. Before we stream next time, I'll figure out how to make that larger. And he draws a walk, and now they're loaded. They'll get a courtesy runner for J-Rod, and it brings up Chops. You can see George, who was the pitcher and is catching, is trying to tell his right fielder to watch the line in case he tries to flip it. Didn't give anything away there on the first pitch. We got a lot of pitchers that are pretty smart in 16-inch, and a lot of times in big situations they'll waste a pitch to see if a hitter gives something away. And there's a strike. Full count here. Again, nobody out, so the runners aren't going. Ground ball to Cias over to Rossi. He airmails a throw. Good job by the Londa first baseman to come off the bag and stop that from hitting the screen. But Los Barachos grabs their first lead of the day at 11-10. So Chops grounds out. It brings up Beebe with Stan on deck. And there's a hard ball. Lou Rossi right through the wicket. Another run scores. First and second one out. And Lou's a little aggravated. That ball was hit right to him on a fly. Somehow it got through the 5-hole. In hockey, they would say that's a bad goal. Stop it, Spags. So that'll bring up Stan now. Barachos have scraped a couple across. Still only one out. And there's a little ground ball. Safe at second. Now he's going to try to score, and he will. Now everybody's running around. Second and third. They don't get the fielder's choice. Everybody's safe. And I believe 2 runs scored on that play. I'm not sure about that. We'll confirm that at the end of the inning, half inning here. But Los Barachos are up 13 or 14 to 10 here. And there's a little pop-up, and that hit the ceiling. That's a foul ball. So Cesar trying to get it to the top.
Good, Scott. Good.
And there's a little chopper. Cias makes the play. That'll be out number 2. And here comes Chu.
I'll take it. Good job. Good job. 8.
Okay, so this is 14-10 if my math is right. And it brings up the top of the lineup and Chu. Because Tommy led off. They got 2 outs and a base runner. And Chu. So it should be 4. Chu draws the walk, and here's Cotto.
First I had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I got booked out.
So runners on the corner here with 2 outs. Back-to-back 5-run innings for Barachos. And he grounds a hit. They make it a 6-run inning. Throw to third. Not handled. Chu slides in, and that allows Cotto to go to second. 6-run inning. And Dan, here's a perfect example where LaHonda have been a little shaky defensively. A couple of fielders' choices they didn't get. Line drive they didn't catch, and this inning is mushroomed. And here comes Rolo. 10 hitters this inning. 6 runs across, 16-10. Barachos, and now they're loaded again. So LaHonda is playing a good ball game, but this inning has been a nightmare. The courtesy run for him, and here comes Logan. Rolo, Logo. So here comes Logo as they've officially batted around this inning. And he pounds a line drive, and Josh can't get there. 1 run is in, 2 runs are in. Second and third. Third baseman got a hand on it. Couldn't make the catch. 2 more runs score on the base hit. And I don't know if they're playing 10-run rule, but here's the guy that started it all, Tommy. And he hits a little roller, knocked down by the pitcher. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. And that is a 10-run inning, I believe. Again, with 2 outs, everybody's running. I'm not sure if they have a mercy rule, and if they do, what it is. But by my count, they've now doubled up LaHonda at 20-10. And there's a slow roller picked up by the third baseman. I'm not sure what they called there. I think that might have hit the batter's foot before it went out there. And there's a line drive, and Rossi can't catch that ball, and the inning continues. So here's J-Rod, the 14th hitter of the inning. And they're going to go to their 3rd pitcher of the ball game, Francisco Arenas.
What's the score, Mr. Jill?
I got it at 20-10.
No way.
Barachos. So,
I'm going to have to go back home.
hey man, what time is it?
11:40.
It's demon time.
Oh!
Can you believe it? I caught a demon asleep at the wheel. Somewhere in the kangaroo court, that's got to be a fine.
Deals on demon time.
These last two innings, Barachos have hit the ball hard, but this is really more a product of some very shaky defense. As J-Rod's going to step in. Again, I just am not sure if there's a mercy rule. And there's another bobble there. And yet another run scores. And Laanda has completely fallen apart here. Now they're checking the score, I think. And that's going to do it. So I may have missed a run somewhere along the line. I got it at 11. I think they just didn't figure it out. So we hope you enjoyed it. On behalf of Gold Rush Gaming, we're going to click off. We'll be back for Bullies versus Los Barachos in the championship.